Hello friends, I welcome you all in this video. In this video session, we are going to discuss about the multi-class classification. So as a part of multi-class classification, we are going to talk about the construction of multi-classifier, the two different approaches of multi-class classification, error correcting output class approach, and how to assess the performance of multi-class classifier. So let's assume we have been given this multi-class classification example as the classification of four different fruits. So same setup where we have a set of features for each example. Now rather than just two labels, we have three or more labels. So some of the real world examples of multi-class classification are document classification, sentiment analysis, handwritten recognition, face recognition, and so on. So for a given multi-class classification problem, whatever classifiers which are shown here, none of these classifiers work out of the box with minor or major modification. So what is the rescue? So we have to use a black box approach to perform the multi-class classification. In black box approach, we have a generic binary classifier. And the question is that how can we use it to solve our new problem? So a generic binary classifier, it is basically used for two class classification problem where the one class is represented as positive class and other class is represented as negative class. We know that binary classifier is optionally outputs a confidence or the score of each of the class. Question is that can we solve our multi-class problem with this binary classifier? And the answer is yes. We have no other option rather than using the black box approach. So in upper height slide, let's see what is the first black box approach. So the first black box approach is known as one versus all. So in training the machine learning model for building the multi-class classifier such that for each label L, we represent a binary problem where all the examples with the label L are classified as positive and rest of the example will be classified to negative class. If this is the case, then we have the first binary classifier which is shown here, which actually performs the classification of the label apple versus rest of the fruits. The second binary classifier, it performs the classification of orange versus rest of the fruit. And in third binary classifier, the class label banana will be represented as the positive class versus rest of the fruits or the rest of the instances. So we can visualize our three different binary classifier for performing the multi-class classification as the first binary classifier indicated with the red line, which actually performs the classification of apple versus rest of the fruit. The second binary classifier, which is indicated with the green line, which performs the classification of pineapple versus rest of the fruit. And the third binary classifier, which performs the classification of banana versus rest of the fruits. So the story is not end. So let's introduce the test instance at this location. And we want to predict the class or the output label of this test instance. Now it is very easy to determine or to predict the label of this test instance. As this test instance is lie in the class region of pineapple, so we classify this test instance to the pineapple class. Let us increase the difficulty level, and now instead of one, we have introduced two new test instances at this location. Now, none of this classifier can correctly classify these two instances because These instances lie in the overlapping region of the binary classifier. So what is the remedy? How do we classify these two instances? Now let's try to see what are the actual classes or what are the actual labels of these two instances. So the apple and the banana are the true labels of these two instances. Question is, how do we classify this? So whether we lead to a solution by reconstructing the decision boundaries or our binary classifier? Yes. We somehow to reconstruct, we somehow to change our decision boundaries or our binary classifiers decision boundary. So what is the solution? So after reconstructing the decision boundary, your decision boundary which look like this. So the solid black line, it indicates the reconstruction of the decision boundaries of the three binary classifiers. And now with this reconstruction of the decision boundary, we can perform the correct classification of the new test instances. So the first test instance will be classified to apple class and the second test instance will be classified to banana class. In the second approach, which is also referred as all versus all or one versus one. So in training, the second approach, that is all versus all, for each pair of label, we train a classifier which distinguish between them. So this is the visualization of training of one versus one multi-class classification approach, where for each pair of a class label, we build one binary classifier. So for the class pair apple versus orange, we have built this classifier. This classifier is built for the class label apple versus banana, and this classifier is built for the class pair label orange versus banana. So let's introduce a test instance, and now we will give this test instance as an input to each of our binary classifier, and will predict the output of this binary classifier. So let's assume that the first binary classifier has predicted the label of this test instance as orange. The second classifier has predicted the label apple, and the third classifier has predicted the label of this test instance to be orange. So now we want to know the final class of this test instance, right? Because we have three classifier, so we'll take the majority vote of the binary classifier. So we pick the label of test instance with the majority vote, and hence the majority vote of this test instance is goes to orange class or the orange output class label. Thus we predict or we perform the classification of this test instance to the orange class. The next point of discussion is how do we evaluate the multi-class classifier. So let's understand this example. So we have been given these 6 instances. These are the true labels or the actual class of these instances, and these are the predicted class of these instances by the classifier. Now let's assume that out of these 6 instances, the first instance and fourth instance are misclassified or not correctly predicted by the classifier. That means the accuracy of this multi-class classifier is 4 divided by 6. 4 is the correct prediction. 4 instances are correctly predicted, whereas 2 instances, this first and fourth instance, are misclassified. Hence, 4 divided by total number of instances are 6. So that gives me the accuracy 66.66%. So now this accuracy can also be determined by using two new concepts called as macro averaging and micro averaging. So what is macro averaging? Macro averaging, or it is also pronounced as macro averaging. It is the determining the evaluation score for each label and then average over the label. Then take the average over the label. Whereas the micro averaging is the average over the examples or samples. So let's find the accuracy using these two concepts for the same example. We know that the total number of instances are 6 and micro averaging is the average over the samples. So 4 instances are correctly classified out of 6 instances. So that gives me the micro averaging accuracy of the multi-class classifier. In case of macro averaging, we will determine the accuracy per class. Now the accuracy of Apple class is 1 divided by 2. Why? Because there are 2 Apple instances. Out of these 2, one is misclassified, hence the accuracy will be 50%. There is only one orange instance, so it is correctly predicted, so its accuracy will be 100%. The accuracy of banana is 50% because one banana instance is misclassified, and the accuracy of the pineapple instance is 100% because it is correctly predicted. Now, the macro averaging accuracy of a multi-class classifier will be calculated as the sum of the accuracy per class divided by total number of output class level. So these are the accuracy per class for each of this level divided by total number of output class level. So we have 4 output class level. We have 4 classes: apple, orange, banana, and pineapple. So this gives me the macro accuracy as 3 divided by 4, that is 74%. Let's move to the next topic, that is error correcting output class approach for the multi-class classification. So in this approach, each class is assigned with a n-bit long code word, and each bit it represents the output of a classifier. For example, consider a multi-class classification problem for classification of a digit as 0 to 9. So this problem has 10 classes, and 10 by 6 code word matrix can be formed with respect to 10 classes and the feature, which is shown in the upcoming slide. So now this matrix, it gives me the output of each of the class. Now for class 5, we have 6 different feature values: vertical line, horizontal line, diagonal line, closed curve, open to left, and open to right. When we look at the shape of this digit 5, we found that this digit 5, it consists of horizontal line. So this class 5, it outputs bit 1 for vertical line. It also contains the horizontal line. So it also outputs 1 for horizontal line feature. It does not contain diagonal line and closed curve. So the class 5, it outputs 0 bit for this 2 feature value, and it output 1 for open to left feature because it has open to left curve, and 0 for open to right. So again, to evaluate the multi-class classifier's performance, let's introduce a test instance. So during the testing, let introduce a test instance X, which is again a digit and which has to be classified either to class 0, 1 up to 9. So as a part of this error correcting output class approach, the first step is perform the encoding of digit X and then apply all 6 classifier and get 6 output bits for X. In step 2, we calculate the Hamming distance of the test instance X, whose n-bit code word is represented or assumed as 110001 with the code word of each class. So how do we calculate the Hamming distance? So Hamming distance of two binary words W1 and W2 is defined as the number of bits at which W1 and W2 differs. So let's try to understand this Hamming distance with the example. Now we have assumed that the test instance bit X is encoded with the n bit code as 110001, and we calculate the distance of this n-bit code word for X with the code word of each of this class. And how do we calculate it? We are using the concept of Hamming distance. So what Hamming distance says? Hamming distance between two words is defined as the number of bits at which the words are different. So for example, I will take here this the Hamming distance between the class 4 and the test instance bit X. So this is the code word for class 4 and this is the n bit code word for the test instance X. Now the Hamming distance between these two words will be the number of bits at which these words are different. And if you compare these two words, then you will find that these two words are different in the last bit. So the last bit, that is the sixth bit of each of these uh, class 5 and the test instance X is different. That is, this is 0 and this is 1. Apart from this last bit, rest of the bits are same, right? So here the minimum or the Hamming distance between class 4 and the test instance X is calculated as 1. And same way, we will also calculate the Hamming distance between output class 3 and X, output class 2 and X, output class 0 and X. And these are the Hamming distance represented for the test instance X and the corresponding output class. So as a part of step 3, we assign an X to class with which the Hamming distance of X is minimum. Hence, the output of the multiclass classifier is class 4, which has minimum Hamming distance with X, that is 1, which is shown here. So how this 1 is calculated? So we have compared the number of bits of class 4 and this test instance X, and we found that there is the difference in only the last bit of these two words, class 4 code word and the code word of X. And because of that, the Hamming distance between them is 1. And the Hamming distance of X is minimum to class 4. Hence, we perform or we classify the Hamming, test instance X to class 4. So that's it, friend. Uh, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any queries, you can write it to this email ID or you can reach out to me at this phone numbers or contact numbers. Don't forget to give any comment. Your comment, your feedback, your I would say that your critics, it would improve us, and your compliments, it encourages us. So thanks a lot for patiently listening this. See you soon in the next video.